At this point, I think just about everyone has seen, or at least heard, of the 2016 anime film, Your Name. An emotional roller coaster from start to finish, the movie has been a huge success both financially and critically, and well, as someone who really enjoyed the film, the reason I am here today is not to argue against all the praise it has received. However, what I am here to talk about is another film that came out at around this time, and though it has been successful in its own right, I feel has been overshadowed a bit and deserves some more love. I am of course talking about a little film called A Silent Voice, so without further ado, let's jump in. A Silent Voice, also sometimes translated as The Shape of Voice, is a 2016 anime film based on a manga of the same name. The story follows Shoya Ishida, who back in elementary school was an uncaring, reckless individual, always looking for new ways to entertain himself. However, he takes things too far when a deaf girl named Shoko Nishimiya transfers to his class, and he takes every opportunity he can get to make her miserable. Whether it is mocking the way she speaks, writing mean things about her on the blackboard, or yanking out her hearing aids to toss around the classroom. Though it is quite obvious that the other students and the teacher feel burdened by Shoko's presence, and Shoya is in no way the only one to bully her, he is the biggest offender, and this eventually leads to her switching schools. When this occurs, the tables turn on Shoya as he alone is singled out and blamed for all the bullying, leading to him being heartlessly ostracized until his third year of high school in the present day. Traumatized by years of isolation and plagued by the guilt of what he put her through, Shoya now seeks Shoko out to try and make amends for the past and, maybe just maybe, finally learn to forgive himself for all the pain he has caused. Now, I don't know if the premise alone has sold you, but if it hasn't, then allow me to talk about some things that I think make this film worth watching. First of all, without spoiling anything, let me just say that the story is great. I can't stress enough how I think that the decision to follow the person who did the bullying and trying to find redemption instead of the one being bullied was a really unique take. Usually when you're presented with a story like this, you follow the victim and it's somewhat of an underdog story, where you see them rise up and persevere despite all the mistreatment from those around them. While that isn't necessarily a bad premise, being able to watch how someone who starts out as a total piece of trash that you super want to punch in the face actually grows into someone remorseful and that you can empathize with was super interesting and really added to the emotion of the movie. However, not only is the premise great in regards to it being a nice tale about seeking redemption, but is also a very well crafted story about much more than that, taking a look at stuff like bullying, isolation, friendship, love, and learning to come to terms with yourself. Because of this, seeing how the different characters grow by the end is a wonderful experience, but I will warn you that you should prepare to have some feels along the way as well. Speaking of which, while Shoya may be the main focus of the story since he is the one trying to overcome his past, for me the standout of the story was Shoko. It's not every day that I go out on a limb and suggest a piece of media based on just a cute character, but I honestly feel like being able to see the cuteness that is Shoko Nishimiya is almost worth the price of admission alone. I mean, as a child, she is absolutely adorable, with so much enthusiasm for making friends, and despite everything she goes through, she still manages to grow up to be such a cute, loving person. Quick to forgive and always thinking about others first, she's the kind of anime waifu whose smile you want to protect at all costs. However, while this could easily have gone poorly, with her being a one-dimensional character whose whole deal is being a cute deaf girl, I feel that that's not the case, since as you watch the movie, you do learn more about her, as well as the insecurities she's dealing with. In my opinion, this balance between someone that is absolutely the sweetest ever, but also has things she's struggling with, makes for an excellent character that I don't think you'll be forgetting anytime soon. Finally, the last thing I want to say is that not only does this movie have a great story and some nice characters, but the art and music is excellent as well. While I will admit that I'm not much of an expert in describing this department, to me at least, the animation looked top-notch and the music was done in a way that filled every scene with tons of emotion. However, as I said, I'm not the best when it comes to this, but if you do want a second opinion with more authority to convince you, Makoto Shinkai, director of the critically acclaimed anime film Your Name, called this film a fantastic piece of work and a polished and grand production which even he is unable to replicate. I don't know about you, but I'd say that speaks volumes. With that being said though, no film is perfect, and this one has its problems just like any other. The first problem is that due to being adapted from a manga, some stuff just doesn't make it into the movie. From plot points to some of the character progression for the supporting cast, certain material didn't make it into the film, which leaves the story feeling a little bit underdeveloped. I would say not enough to ruin the experience, but I just thought I'd throw that out there just the same. The other issue is that some people feel that using the story of a deaf character like this is exploitative and only serves to use the condition as a plot device. Well, I am in no way deaf, and I would say that such statements really overgeneralize the overarching story the creators are trying to tell. I have noticed this being said on more than one occasion about the film, so I just thought it was fair to throw that out there for anyone interested in watching this. Those two issues aside, however, I really enjoyed the film, and I would definitely recommend it. Containing a sad yet inspirational story, great characters, and a fantastic presentation, I would say this is a must watch. And in fact, I have some good news about watching it because I actually found a channel right here on YouTube that has the movie available to watch, dub or sub, absolutely free. While I still think you should support the movie in the long run with a DVD/Blu-ray purchase, I think this is something worth experiencing and will make sure to link the channel at the end of the video. I absolutely fell in love with the film, and I think you will too, so why not give it a try? But hey, that's just my opinion, and remember, don't take anything I say too seriously. After all, I'm just the Wannabe Reviewer. Thanks for watching.